Michaela. Everyone knows Michaela. Michaela, wave to everyone.
Hi,
Michaela
Kayla.
is our Beer Center admin assistant, right? Is that your title?
I'm a virtual admin assistant. Yep.
Yeah.
Virtual. Yeah. So I just had the chance to have my first connection and chat with Michaela, and she's going to be helping us today because as well as doing our activities fair. When we're finished that, we're going to move into an official networking event, which Michaela and I will manage, and we will do breakout rooms to allow everyone to connect on a deeper level and a more intimate level. So hopefully it's fun for you all and you get to know some of the other people in the room. How many people in the room are GAB facilitators? If you can raise your hand and keep it up. And
Well, Carolyn, you are, whether you're doing it or not. I know you are a GAB
yeah, no, it
facilitator.
doesn't matter if you're
Yeah,
doing
it
it
doesn't
or
matter if you're teaching right
if
now,
you're
but
trained, if you're trained. Okay.
right.
Okay, now put down your hand and put up your hand if you're a curious onlooker looking to get trained or whatever other motivating fact. So Shannon, who else? Anybody? Roger. Okay, we've got Shannon and Roger. Great. And welcome, Cheyenne. Great. So I'm gonna pass this to Sarah. Sarah, are you taking it from here?
I can, yes. Hi, everybody. You perhaps know me as the interim executive director of this crazy band, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve in this way. And I just want to remind you I'm using interim in my title because I don't intend to be in this position forever. I intend to grow this organization into a financial stability in which we can afford to pay an executive director, find that person, and step gracefully out of the way.
Okay.
So, thank you all for helping me make that happen in the next year or two. Um, I've got a couple things I want to talk about, and then a couple more that I've been asked to talk about. The very first thing I want to talk about is the instructor survey. Now, we launched this about a month ago. We've extended the deadline through the end of May because responses have been slow coming in, and we really need as many people in the community as we can get to respond. We need to get to about 250 responses out of our 850 some community to really have valid statistical results. The whole point of the survey is to find out where you're having trouble, where you're having successes, how we can help you, what you look for from the Buren Center. So I am posting in the chat the link. If you have not responded to the survey yet, please, please, please copy that link out of the chat. And when you finish this meeting tonight or tomorrow morning, before you let your distractions get in your way, please fill out the survey. It should take you about 10 minutes, not
Yeah.
more than that. I timed myself. It was 8 minutes, 32 seconds. So see if you can beat my time.
That's a good
Uh,
challenge, Sarah.
yeah. The next thing I want to talk about is the summer workshops that are coming up. One of the things that we're striving to do is have a calendar of course offerings where in every season there are a few things that could be interesting for you to participate in. Some of them are skills development that might make you a better GAB instructor, give you new content or new skills to do your business practice, and some are just for growing your self-development, for exploring your creativity, for spending fun time in sessions with your fellow instructor community. You will find them all on the website, and I'm going to put the link to that in the chat as well. It's the workshops and events page, and the things are listed there in the order of upcoming date, chronological order. And there goes the link to you. And just to summarize, the first one coming up is this very Friday. It's just a one-shot, meaning it just meets once. It's called GAB as Food Memory, Introduction to Tasting the Past. And Janet Ferguson, who's the instructor, is here in the room with us. So I
Wave,
will,
Janet.
yeah, and feel free to unmute yourself and speak. I'll just say that I clipped this from your description. Participants will be introduced to three complementary instructional frameworks: taste, feast, and spice, each offering a distinct pathway into autobiographical writing through food memory. It's this Friday, May 22nd from 1 to 3:15 Eastern Time. There's no fee to participate, although we welcome donations to the Beeren Center, and it's out of the goodness of Janet's heart that she's offering it and suggesting that. So Janet, do you want to speak about the class a little bit?
Rather briefly, because you've said most of it, and thank you very much, Sarah, for that introduction. So really briefly, there might be people in the room who've done it already, but it's an introduction to autobiographical food writing. It's actually called Food War. I didn't know such a thing existed, but now it does, apparently.
Wow.
And it's a way into GAB that is based on all the principles, the practices, the theories of GAB, autobiographical writing, but the landscape or the terrain that we're writing on around memories of food, food memory. And why? Because it's one of the most vivid memories that we carry in our bodies. We remember some of our earliest meals, whether or not we like them. But taste is so visceral and so material and so bodily that we have very vivid images that create a wonderful scaffolding for craft, for learning how to write. And most of all, after all that blah, 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 blah theory, it's fun.
I have to jump in here because
Yeah,
I was
please.
supposed to help. I didn't sign up to take the class, with her, but I got to help and I loved it. It was brilliant. I know that Julie was in the class, so I got to listen to all the stories. Julie, do you want to say something about it? And
Yes,
this was
yes.
also the webinar, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
webinar that
Yeah.
just introduces it as a method, as a module that you can add to your practice, or you can come away with some prompts that you can use. But go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to encourage everyone
Yeah.
to take the class. Well, I found it very unique, very engaging. It really expands upon the skills that we've learned as GAB instructors, very creative. And I know for me, it just fueled a lot of ideas for prompts and themes and so forth. So I encourage you all to take it if you can.
I've heard a lot of positive feedback that it's a really fun class and deep as well.
It is.
The next one coming up is Gab to Gorgeous, a simple system to bring Gab stories to life. And it meets on Thursday, June 18th and June 25th. So it's a two-part workshop, 2.5 hour sessions. It focuses on helping facilitators increase student engagement, offer meaningful, tangible outcomes, introduce visual legacy projects with confidence, and create an additional value-added offering for students. So this is one that would really enhance your GAB workshops by um, presenting a way to produce a simple magazine-like product. And Honey, do you want to talk about it a little bit? Or Sheila? I know you're in the room.
Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, you've said it all. That's exactly what it is. And we aspire to the response that you just gave from the other workshop, that it was fun and lovely and wonderful. And that's what we hope to bring this time around. So we invite everybody. And if you have questions ahead of time, please do not hesitate to contact us. Because we would love to answer questions. We want to bring this value to the community, very much so, and especially to facilitators. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sheila, anything
Yeah.
to add?
Yeah. Sheila, do you have anything? You're muted, Sheila. You're muted. Oh, I'm watching your mouth. You're muted.
Yeah.
Okay,
There you go.
can be unmuted.
There.
No, I just want to say that we're going to include, as part of it's a two-part workshop. As part of it, we're going to include a template of our professionally designed magazine template that you will learn how to use during the class, and we'll also share how that you could offer it to your students as a next step for their writings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a way for your students to put their stories into a publication.
Exactly.
Adding photos, and it's a template, so it's a drop-in. It's an easy thing to do.
Right.
And
And
they're
for facilitators also to show it for themselves as
Sure.
like how cool they are.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Really fun. Thank
Yeah.
you, Sarah.
I really love the idea of having a way to make our stories tangible, even when there's just 10 or 12 of them that we've written. They're
I agree.
not a
Right.
full memoir or autobiography. Once you get the feel of having it in print and sharing it and seeing the smiles on the faces of your family,
Yeah.
it's really motivational, I think. And
Right.
then the final workshop coming up this summer is Find Your Students, Fill Your Classes, which Cheryl and I developed after discovering that marketing skills was a gap that our instructor community was eager to fill. Created it about 5, 6 years
Yeah.
ago now. In 2025, I updated the curriculum to include more about social media because marketing practices have changed. So that is a 6-week workshop starting July 9th. And in it, you will gently learn skills for marketing your services, designing your business practice, and you'll leave with a 6-month marketing plan, a step by step, everything you need to do to launch and run your first classes. And that will meet from 8 to 10 Pacific time starting July 9th. And you'll find more information about all these on the website and just follow the link I put in the chat to the workshop page to see that. That was the summer workshops piece. Um, Heather suggested I give you an update on the anthology for this year. And the submissions deadline closed at April 30th. We did hit our limit of 100 essays just hours before the deadline, as happened the previous year.
Yeah.
I think that we've got procrastinators among us. The review team has finished reading all of the stories and has met to determine what themes seem to be emerging. We have these subgroupings within the anthology. And it's looking to be a really strong. Some of these stories are just so compelling. I really think we got some great entries this year. Um, so we've pretty much filled our committee needs for that. We have volunteer editors who will be working with these stories once the review team finishes selecting the finalists. If you've submitted a story, the announcements will go out by late June. So hang with it and you'll hear from us whether your story has been accepted, whether we're requesting some developmental edit collaboration with you on it, or whether it didn't make the cut this year. And I will also put in a plug for using last year's anthology or any of ours. Especially The Gift of a Long Life is a great one for certain settings that are, like senior centers or assisted living facilities or 50 plus housing, communities. Whenever you meet with somebody about GAB, when you're trying to, meet with a new organization that might sponsor a workshop or somebody who might be interested in taking the class, I like giving out copies of it. It doesn't cost that much to have some on hand and to use it as a sort of big brochure for what guided autobiography is about. So it's good for you, good for your spreading the word in your community. And whenever I give somebody a book, I just say, and when you're done reading it, put it in a little free library or pass it along to
Yeah.
somebody you think would enjoy it. And I just love thinking of these books out there, spreading the word about what we do and uh, what the impact that it has on people. And if you're a GAB instructor, please every year encourage your students to submit essays because it's just one of the most tangible ways to feel the value of taking a guided autobiography workshop and then finding yourself in a published volume. It's a real boost.
And GAB instructor and you as well.
Yeah,
We have,
yeah.
yeah.
Our instructors are some
We
of our best
started it
writers.
with only GAB instructors, and then we realized you've all got students and they're brilliant writers. So we've expanded it, but it's also for all of the GAB instructors.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sarah. I'm so glad
Yeah.
you gave the update. And the reason I asked you to add it is we have 3 or 4 very anxious students
Ah,
who submitted, and we started a next level class yesterday, and they were actually asking,
Yeah.
when will we find out? And then I
Yeah.
explained, it's a review team that are volunteers.
It's
They'll
juried, right? I mean,
yeah, they
it
have,
really is. And
yeah,
it's not juried on well, it is the quality of the writing, but if it follows the theme, if it gives something to the readers, when
yeah,
you have 100, you need to narrow it down. So all
yeah,
of the stories again that we got were great stories, but they didn't all fit. So,
yeah, of
and we're
course.
still, and as the jurors, we're still discussing it. They aren't all set yet. So we can't,
yeah.
That must be a hard job for
right.
sure.
It is.
It's a labor of love, but it's a
Yeah.
difficult one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Elizabeth Johnston was going to be here tonight to talk about the
The
GAB
summit.
Summit that will take place in October 2026. If you're new to our community, the last GAB Summit took place in December
December.
2024, so 2 years ago. It's looking like it might be a biennial thing that we do. Um, it's a 3-day virtual conference with just all kinds of packed with content, 6 hours a day, from speakers both from within our community and those who have something to offer to our community. Cheryl, do you want me to read Elizabeth's email or do you want to
I
present
can do
this?
it because I want to first of all ask how many of you here were presenters at that? Either raise your virtual hand or raise your real hand. Because I'm looking at Xing Wang. You did something on Singapore, didn't you? I mean, and I know Janet didn't, yeah, you presented? Right. Anyway, okay, the GAP Summit is really our chance to spotlight you and all the different things that you do. So we had 30 presenters from all over the world. And I thought 3 days, who's going to sit through 3 days? But we had at least 40 to 50 people at each one of the sessions. Each one is 30 minutes. So it's like speed dating or something, when you get in there and it just goes straight through and you get, I think she gave us a half an hour break for lunch or something, and that was it. So, and it's on Eastern time. So I was getting up California like 7 a.m. to log in at 8 a.m. But this year is going to be called, the theme is Story as Transformation, stories that connect us. So what they're going to do is explore how guided autobiography creates meaning, connection, reflection, legacy, and community building. We do all of those things. So Elizabeth Johnson, she was in Toronto, if I'm correct, Sarah. I think she's in Quebec now. She's Canadian. She does all of the platform that she uses to get everybody going, and to it just runs like clockwork. I mean, I've been to like 3 conferences that have been virtual, and there's always been a glitch. You can't find the elevator to get to the room you're supposed to be in, but this is not ongoing and it just goes and it's continuous. You can join in for a session, you can leave, you can come back later that afternoon, and you're going to get all of the recordings for free if you sign up, before the end of the sessions. So we made it very affordable, and all the presenters get all the sessions free. So all 30 presenters got copies of it all. And we've now taken all of those videos because there's some brilliant ones, and they're all up on the Buren website. Thanks to Gord Dial, we have YouTube videos of all of those that are on the Buren website for anybody to go and look at and be refreshed with. So this next session, that's going to be from October 14th through the 16th of this year, there's going to be 4 categories. Those categories are, one of them is life themes and meaning making. And she says that is to explore the patterns that shape a life. What are some of the ways that our lives are shaped? What are those? It's just like, the moments that shape us, the theme, anthology theme this time, how we are created by those moments. The next one is the craft of guided autobiography. So it has everything to do with all of you, how, like Janet, now using food as a way to get into deeper memories. And we have somebody else who's planning to offer a course using guided imagery. So it's all for you, for guided autobiography instructors, how you lead, hold, and facilitate the process. Maybe you have a slightly different way. We had Kimberly Lee last time who used soul collage, how she uses soul collage to enhance it. Writing as discovery is the third category, and that's how your self develops, how you learn about yourself through your writing and through the feedback that you get from the other people in the class. And then the final one is the impact of all this. She said the impact of life review, but it's actually the impact of guided autobiography takes you back. Jim Biren always says you have to look back to know where you are now, to know where you want to go. So by looking back, where are you headed? So it's looking at how GAB transforms individuals, community, and you leave a legacy. So I'm excited about it. And this just hit me by surprise. She's doing a Q&A. I don't know how closely you read the this missive that we got from
Yeah.
Elizabeth. On Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, May 27th at 6 p.m. Eastern. So if Michaela or Sarah would be able to put that link into the chat, that would be great. We're going to have to get the word out because there's not a heck of a lot of time. But anyway, Tuesday, May 27th at 3 o'clock Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern
Great.
time, Elizabeth is going to hold a Zoom meeting that, how to fill out the application, to encourage you to sign up for something, to give you ideas of the type of workshops that would be offered. I can think now like Sheila and Honey, doing the Lifezine would be a great opportunity for you to be able to present there, and expectations, and then any questions you might have. So does anybody that was at the summit in December of 2024, or you want to say something about it just for people that have never heard about it before? Anybody?
I can.
Sure.
No, I'm really excited to hear it's coming back. I was
Yep.
disappointed we didn't get to have it last year. I
Yeah.
thought it was a wonderful opportunity to connect and get to know people deeper, which is always my hope in community like this. And I'm excited that we will have this opportunity again. It was so incredible.
Yep, it was. Got to know a lot.
Yeah, I did just put the information that she sent us in the link. I noticed she said Tuesday, May 27th, but May 27th is a Wednesday. I'm going to assume
Oh,
she really meant May 27th because that's what she also said at the end of the message. So it's Wednesday, May 27th. I'll confirm that with her. And maybe by the
okay.
end of this session, we'll
Have
be
it
able
all
to
figured
confirm
out.
that. But we
Okay.
encourage you to submit a speaker proposal or at
Right.
least come to the Q&A and discover whether you might want to do that because so many of us bring rich background in related life story work of different kinds, or just other kinds of creative or expressive writing. That we're such a talented bunch. It's really exciting when we can get together and share skills with each other.
And we'll do panels as well. So, maybe there's a panel that you're thinking of that might be something important that you'd be a good member of. We're open to all suggestions.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the teams that we have available for people before we start this fast GAB dating session that Heather's going to lead us in?
I think you're going to
Or
talk
yeah,
about the teams.
let me start teams because I've
Um,
got some of our team leaders here that can
right.
help us out. The Beer and Center, we are a working board and we are a group of people that work together to bring all these things out for everybody. So we've developed teams. Like we have well, I don't think we need to talk about the survey team because hopefully that's going to get taken
Yeah,
care of
that's
and we'll give
done.
that
Yeah.
report. We also have an instructors and a curriculum team. So in that, we have one curriculum team that's pretty well filled. I see several of our people here on this in this meeting, where we are looking at the curriculum that we have that we're teaching the GAB instructors, the trainers now, as well as looking at new courses that are coming in, new proposals. Do they fit our mission? Do they fit our values? Are they too therapy oriented? How can so this team, and this also is pretty well said. I think we have 6 members on that. Angela, you happen to be one of them. Um, we're set on that, but we now have a new team that's coming up that Julie Feibusch has, you know, um, put the bug in our ear that we need something like this. And then she fortunately volunteered to go ahead and head it. So I'm going to let you talk about it, Julie, but basically it's starting GAB writing groups for GAB instructors. So not only are you out there teaching others, but for you to continue your own writing. And this is something that Carolyn, you'd remember, Mimi Holmes started long ago, but she's setting up a way to, and I think, Carolyn, you might speak to this. Isn't your group still going that you started with? You're muted right now, Carolyn. Uh,
Yeah, it's still going.
after how many years?
I don't know.
I know it's been more than 2 or 3, at
It
least.
has.
Yeah, and I think you meet monthly, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I think
Uh,
that's the idea Julie has. So, Julie, I'm
yeah.
going to turn it over to you and let you talk about the new way you want to do it.
Yes, I'd love to. I actually put it on a short PowerPoint.
Oh,
I thought it might be easier to
yeah, go ahead.
share
If you want to share
visual.
that, sure.
Am I able to share? Am I
Yes. Oh,
okay?
I don't know. I shouldn't say this. I'm so used to Can she share, Michaela or
It looks
Heather?
like I can.
Okay, good.
All right. All right. Are you able to see that?
Yes,
Mhm.
Okay,
sure do.
great. Yes. Thank you. And some years ago, Mimi Holmes organized GAB instructor groups, and I was a member of one for 4 years and found it very helpful. And I think probably many of you were as well. And I think some of the groups are still going and some of the groups have sort of petered off. I thought it would be a great idea to resurrect them and to find an easy way, an easy avenue for instructors, with either experienced or new instructors, to align themselves in a GAB instructors writing group. The purpose of the GAB instructors writing group is really just to create a writing practice group for us, for instructors, for GAB instructors, so that we can continue our own writing practice. We may be, it may be that we are not done with writing our life stories, or maybe we're working on a memoir or larger writing projects. So it's an opportunity to get together with other instructors who have been trained in this technique and to deepen our own practice, deepen and continue our own writing practice. How are these groups structured? They are all peer-led, and the group itself decides how often they meet. In some cases, this would be monthly, quarterly. The members of the group, of each group, make a decision around this. Who hosts the group? Again, this is up to members to decide. Sometimes members will rotate hosting responsibilities, or sometimes the member with a Zoom account ends up hosting the meetings on an ongoing basis. And something that's just a little bit different than the way it was done before is that each group will designate a point person, and a couple of times a year, I'll touch in with that point person just to see how the group is going. And the purpose of this is simply for continuity. Sometimes there are issues with groups that can be easily resolved. And sometimes a group needs some type of support. So that's the purpose behind having a point person, to provide support for members of these groups. What themes are used? Members can use any themes that either reuse themes from the GAB curriculum, GAB 1 or Level 2, the GAB books, the Beeren website, and there are a lot of themes on the Beeren website, or members can provide fresh themes of their own. And a bonus of doing this is this would really provide us an opportunity to harvest new themes to share with other GAB instructors. So it's also a real opportunity for instructors who haven't developed their own themes or struggle with developing sensitizing questions to kind of simplify it, to get a little practice in doing it. It's another skill to develop. How many members will be in each group? I foresee the groups being 4 to 5 members. Maybe they can occasionally be a little bit larger. And ideally, I would like to see them as a mix of more experienced instructors and newer instructors. This isn't formal mentoring, but it certainly would be useful, I think, for newly certified instructors to be able to work with instructors who have been doing this for a while. And how do you sign up for it? I'll be sending out a sign-up form in which you'll stipulate the best days and times and so forth across time zones. I tried to keep it simple. I'll get the forms back. I will match up a group of 4 or 5 people, and I'll send the information out to the group, and then you take it from there. It's your group. that's about it. I wonder if you have any questions or concerns about the GAB instructor groups or any suggestions. I think I'll just stop the share now. Okay.
Thank you, Julie. It's a great idea. It's a great opportunity for all of you to keep writing. Who has a question, maybe?
Oh, thank you, Sarah. That's my email address. Thank you for sending that. Let's see, I'm just looking.
Yeah, I just posted that to the chat in case you have
Okay.
questions that come up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if you have any questions or suggestions, please reach out to me, and I will be sending out information about this. I have just a little sheet of information and sign-up sheets. I think we decided in June.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah. I'll
yeah.
just add that it's one of the questions on the instructor survey is, would you be interested in something like this? And the feedback there with the responses so far has been really strong. So
Yeah.
there's good interest in this program. So get on board.
I think another benefit to participating in a group like this is it really keeps us in touch with our students.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
what
think
that
there's nothing
experience
like
is.
it. There's nothing like doing it ourselves and maybe struggling with themes or working through themes to enhance that sense of compassion for our students or understanding for our
Yeah,
students.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Julie
Thanks very much.
exemplifies exactly what, we're talking about with the teams. I mean, she came to us with this idea and we said, yeah, that's a great idea. And she said, I'll do it. So then going on from that, the other GAB instructor or engagement or support groups, we don't have one. I thought we should have like a GAB support group. How you have a box to put in suggestions. Somebody other than quote like me or Sarah or who's on the board. Just a regular GAB instructor who's going. I don't know why they do it this way. They should do it that way. Somebody that can, get together. A way to support other GAB instructors, find out. And another one I thought new GAB instructors, the new ones coming in, like we've just now got 21, 22 new people coming in. They don't know any of you. They've never been to a GAB chat, so they don't know anything about it. They're a little bit intimidated. Maybe there's a way to have a new GAB group going.
Oh, okay.
And then
Yeah,
I also
newcomers
thought,
club.
right. And then I also thought about international groups. We have so many different countries. I think Australia next to Canada is our third largest, and now with three more and Singapore. I would say Singapore then ahead of India,
Yeah.
and as Europe as well. So maybe we could have international groups.
So bring us your ideas. We're open
Right.
to them. Now, do you want to talk about the YouTube and
That's why
invite
I'm
Gord?
right now.
Okay.
YouTube, and I was going to ask Gord if he would jump into that because he is our YouTube guru right now.
Sure, I'd love to. So here's what we're looking for is we have a YouTube page, and there's quite a lot of there's an intrinsic value for our organization and the GAB work that we all do to having a YouTube presence in order to kind of bring it out to the public a little more in the same way that the summit did. There was a lot of people who were new to the work through that. We're looking at making it kind of a companion to the web page, but to be active, to be in kind of you need to have a weekly presence or a regular presence online to generate new interest. So one of the things that I was proposing to the board was that we have a more active YouTube page. Um, and in order to do that, we actually need people to be part of that team for that YouTube project. And that's something that I'll be and doing the lion's share of the work, but it would be great to have a committee of four, I'd say like 4 or 5 other people who are interested in being part of creating this presence for the work.
Mhm.
Um,
So
same
you're
way that
looking for like a content committee, right, Gord? Someone to develop content ideas, a content calendar, that kind of
Yeah,
thing?
what is the skill set? Because you know you don't want me.
well, no, we want there's a variety of people. It's really if you have any interest, first of all, if you have any interest or have done things with YouTube, I'd
Mhm.
love to hear from you because that's a that's part of it. But the other part of it is knowing what's important about GAB to get out, to create the content or to drive the content. There are different sources of content that exists for us to easily put out, but it's the nuts and bolts work of framing what this would look like. In the same way that if you will look at the GAD Gazette, right? There's a
Yeah.
monthly newsletter that's crafted by probably, well, you tell me, Sarah, how many people are involved in that group?
We've got at least 8 people involved on our team that puts out the bi-monthly Gap Gazette. Barbara Smith is the one that does our interviews. She's here with us now. So yes, we
So,
are a working group.
so there's but there's a balance of
Oh
the
yeah,
types of
that's
people
right. That do
do
different
this.
things. Exactly.
So if there was a model for what the YouTube team would look like, it would look like a version of the GAB Gazette team.
Okay.
Right? So I guess the best thing is if there's anyone in online watching this today that's interested in maybe finding out more about what this might look like or how they could contribute into that, I'd be happy to respond to anyone that um, you know wants to
Mhm.
uh, know more about it, or unless there's anybody that has any questions, or specifically, actually, is there anyone who in here has on their web page or has a YouTube page of their own where they put videos up?
Oh,
Oh, see, quite a
see,
few.
so you've got a few. I have just put in the chat Gord's email and ask you to CC our Michaela, our admin assistant. When you, if you have any interest or questions about this, please get a hold of Gord and CC our assistant Michaela, so we can keep track of who might be interested in learning more about this team.
Great.
And, and if I may, just one thing to those people who might be interested, here's the value for you to get involved is I've been studying now YouTube for probably like the last 10 years, and there are ways to make YouTube be valuable for your own work. So whether you're just starting into it or you've been into it for a while, there are things that you could learn from being part of this that then you can take to your own work.
That's great. And I just want to put a plug in. Gord is a good teacher. He created a program called the One Page Create Your Own One Page Website. So he knows what he's talking about. And I wanted to add one other thing. We are such fun people to work with. You're going to get to meet other people in the community that you didn't know before, and you're going to begin to feel part of something by joining one of these teams. So I quickly have to move because I can feel Sarah breathing down my neck or Heather going, okay, when are we going to break out rooms? We have a social media. We have both a Facebook page, we have a LinkedIn, and I have Lily here someplace. I saw her. I hope I haven't lost her yet. Yeah, great, Lily. If you can just talk a little bit about this because we could definitely need help, with the postings and things there.
Yes, I'm happy to. So, I mean, just like YouTube, social media is how the Barron Center stays visible and reach new people. So I think that anybody who volunteers in this area, you'll have real visible impact because you can see your work, right there out in the world. And I think what the requirements are really, creating or scheduling posts, responding to comments and messages, taking photos or writing captions for, events or other things, and, helping to grow Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn because the Barron Center has those pages in addition to the YouTube that Gord is talking about there. I think the people who would be a good fit for this is, people who already use social media regularly, or You know, we all enjoy writing, perhaps, you know, photography or storytelling. And this is just a little bit of that in miniature, maybe. And really, you don't need any professional experience. You know, I think enthusiasm counts
Hmm.
in terms of this volunteer time. Ideally, what I see for the Barron Center to become more visible is, you know, 2 posts per week. And you can schedule with just a little tweak across all 3 platforms if you use um, a social media manager scheduler, you know, like Buffer. They have a free version that you can, you know, schedule 10 ahead of time. So it doesn't have to be like instantly. And so I think that would be the ideal commitment. You know, right now we have stuff that's posted, you know, once every 3 weeks or once every month, which you know, doesn't help our visibility as much as
Yeah.
it could. So I think what you're going to gain against is really portfolio experience, you know, skills in nonprofit communications, really, and you know, you understand the Barron Center mission, and we just need to put that out into the world.
All right.
Thanks, Lily.
Yeah. Can people follow up with you about that, Lily? Would you be willing to take emails from volunteers, or would you like me to send that to Michaela?
Um, wow.
I know you're traveling
Yeah,
and
she's
busy, so
yeah.
I just got back from travel. I'm here one day, then I'm
yeah.
gone.
Okay. I'm posting Michaela's email again then. So to follow up with this team, please follow up with Michaela at the info at the Beer Center
Right.
email.
And the only other thing I have is I just want to mention we haven't planned for the next GAB chat. I think it's the GAB chat's basically Heather and I, and then knocking around trying to find out who would be a good speaker or presenter. So if there's anybody that wants to work with us, or you know, if you have an idea for a presentation or a presenter to come in, you know, give a talk, let us know. So I don't.
All right.
That's it. Join
Great.
us.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I'm just reminded what a rich community we have, and this is why we meet like this, so that we can discover those things. And so what I would say is when you go into the breakout room, if you hear about somebody's secret skill that they're not sharing,
Tell us.
put their name forward.
Put it in the
Um,
chat box.
yeah, just say, oh, it'd be great to hear more from you about whatever you're doing. Yeah, I'm excited to hear about a peer-led GAB instructor writing. I think that's a brilliant idea. And yeah, so excited to hear all the things in the works. So now what we're going to do is I took a show of hands from people that are instructors. There's a few more people that came into the room. So anyone that's curious about guided autobiography, is not quite an instructor yet, or is interested in becoming one, we're going to ask you to go to room 2, and Cheryl will be there. And the questions that I'm going to put the questions right here in the chat. For you to ask each other. And so what I want you to do is follow the questions or don't. This is not a strict thing. Get to know each other. See who's who and what they're doing. Talk to each other and make sure that you're giving everyone a chance to talk. So rotate. Don't just have people do it in blocks. Okay, okay, so here's the questions for room 2. And if someone, you're curious to get to know someone more, ask them for their email address and follow up tomorrow with an email, because this is our chance to go deeper with each other. So if you are not an instructor yet, off you go to room number 2. And then Michaela,
How long do we have, Heather? What are you going to do?
we'll do so we're at 10 to, let's do like 15 minutes and then come back, and then we'll switch up the group again and we'll have a couple more questions. And we don't have the control of making sure the room is different every time. So you may see the same people in the room the second time around. And then we'll bring the people that are non-instructors, will just integrate you into the other rooms and you can participate in those questions. So let me put the other questions into the chat. Okay. There you go. And I was glad that Julia talked about the writing, because that was a question I had for you. What's your favorite prompt? And I also was gonna say, are you writing? Okay, so everyone, all the instructors Michaela's gonna send us into rooms, and those are the questions. And hopefully they still stay up. Do they, Michaela? Do we know that? Oh, you're muted.
They should. You should still be able to access the main chat.
Okay. I have seen otherwise. So maybe if there's an issue, I'll come back and grab them and send them into the rooms.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.